person next to you. Say, I recognize the light in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and sing with me. Here we go. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name, I'll stand up. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of, let me hear. We come together. Oh, sounds great. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
Look out. Oh boy. Is my mic on? We have had all sorts of little trouble in the interwebs. I understand. I'm doing all I can. I'm going to keep talking. Good morning. Welcome. We come together in the name of love. I don't mean to be yelling at you. We wanted to introduce that song back together too. You might want to just bring me a handheld so that I can function here. Thank you. Thank you. I want to give a shout out. You know, Heidi, what you need is in the sound booth with Sabrina. Anybody else need anything? Let's see. We have magnificent sound team, and it never fails. You do all the troubleshooting, and then you start the service, and something goes awry. So we bless you. We know you're figuring that out. So welcome this morning to all of you who are here in person, those of you who are joining us online. Just want to remind us all, for those of you who maybe have never been here, this is your first time. Any first timers? Raise your hand. Oh, always a jokester. Okay. Well, I know that there might be some of you online that are new to Unity, new to this community, and we just want to let you know, should you ever make your way here, that we are a loving, inclusive, affirming community, and we welcome you when you can make it, and we welcome you to continue watching from perhaps around the country online. We want to let you know of a few things on your screen. Hopefully here we go. He's going to get that going. Perfect. For those of you, and you know what? You can do this here on your app if you know how to do that, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But if you're new to us and would like to receive our newsletter, he's going to do it right there. On your smartphone, you text the phrase Unity Denver app to that number, 833-815. You're going too fast. That number, and it prompts you to download our app. And our app has everything Unity of Denver, everything that you used to have in a handout bulletin, all of that stuff. You can make a donation, you can see what's coming up, so I encourage you to do that. Also, if you are not receiving our newsletter, go to our website, but you could do it on the app. Wait a minute, there's an app for that. But you can go to our website if you haven't done that yet and sign up for our newsletter on the orange button there on the bottom to get a weekly update from us. You can also go to our YouTube channel, follow our YouTube channel, ring the bell, and you'll get an advertisement. You'll get a notification. The young people are smiling, so that's funny. Like, does this lady know what she's doing? I do, trust me. There you go. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring the bell. You'll be notified of things that we're doing on YouTube, as well as on Facebook. You can like our page, follow our page, and that's probably where those of you who are watching us live are doing so. So let's see if I got through everything there. If all else fails, and I get it, just send us an email. info@unitydenver.org. We can't do all that right now. We need you to answer this question. Fair enough, just send us an email. So let me introduce myself. Let me take a step back. You recognize that Reverend David Howard is not in the house today. We had planned just for me to do the talk, and inadvertently he's injured his back. So he's okay. He's going to see Dr. Pete Stutz, who many of you know. Yes. So he's resting, taking good care of himself, and probably watching. So everybody behave. David Howard is our senior minister. I am Trish Morris, your associate minister, and I am thrilled to be with you today. Yes. Let's see where we are. Announcements. We have, who's our women's group that's announcing? Come on up. We have a team, I'll just get started by saying this team of leadership that is working together to create the Feminine Identity Women's Retreat this fall, September 3rd through 5th, and they have some exciting invitations and announcements for you. Yeah, you should. I got mine here somewhere.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's great to see you all. We wanted to extend a special invitation to everyone for the Feminine Energy Retreat this fall. It will be held at Sunrise Ranch. It's all inclusive. Meals are going to be provided, and they're fabulous, made on site. It's going to be extremely exciting and beautiful. We have an excellent program lined up, and I'll go ahead and pass it over to Christina to talk about the program.
Good morning. If you don't know where Sunrise Ranch is, it's west of Greeley, up in the foothills. Absolutely beautiful place. I'm sorry, west of Loveland, not Greeley. Even more beautiful, in my personal opinion. I have been there. We have been working on this for a couple of years. There was this thing that came up that kind of got in the way, and we were blessed to be able to put on a mini retreat last year, which we loved having so many of you present for, outdoors. We will be indoors and outdoors, and we'll have some free time to enjoy being there. Our facilitator this year is Cynthia James. Perhaps you've heard of her. She's quite famous and beautiful and just an amazing woman. She's been a facilitator and a minister in the New Thought movement for decades. She lives here in Colorado. She is excited to be with us. We sought far and wide all across the country for facilitators and selected her among many wonderful candidates, and we know that you're going to be delighted to share that day with us. And now I'm going to hand the microphone to Monica McNulty, our committee chairwoman, who's worked really hard to help us put this all together, and she's going to help you understand how to get there, what it'll take on your part.
Good morning. So as far as registration, probably the simplest way to do it is just look at the Friday newsletter, and there's an option in there, a little slide of information about it, but then you can register right there. We have a number of different rooming options, either by yourself or with one or two others with different price points. One exciting thing this year too is that transportation will be provided. We're planning to rent a bus so that we can all party on the bus up to Sunrise Ranch. If you
100 bottles of beer on the wall.
No, that's not true. Oh, my mic is working.
It is really going to be so much fun. If you have any questions, we will be in the back after the service, so feel free to chat with us, or you can always either call the church or email the info@unitydenver.org, and we'll be glad to answer any questions and help you get registered. And as a fundraiser for this, CJ has another exciting thing to share.
If you haven't done it already, gather your stuff together for our garage sale this Saturday. In all reality, you don't have to come and buy anything. We get a lot of people coming by the house to buy our stuff, but we need more stuff. And admit it, that basement, that bedroom closet, that kitchen might have too much stuff. Exactly. So I live just down on Dartmouth, 1501. They can give you the address when they see you after church. I'm at work, but don't tell my boss. Hope you go ahead and join us. You can even come by and just say hi to all us working people, because it's going to be hot.
Thank you, ladies.
And if you're
Yes, thank you.
And if you're able to offer helping with the garage sale, either Friday evening, we will be staging and getting things set up, or anytime during the day on Saturday. The sale starts at 8 and goes till 3, but we would love help anytime between 7 and 4. If you're available, that would be great.
Great. You give one person a mic, you're in trouble. You give 4 a mic. Look out. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you,
Cynthia
ladies.
James, can I go? She's one of my favorite people on the planet.
Oh, you got lots of it you want, don't you?
We're not taking questions right now, Clay. Thank you, though. I'm going to just get us centered. You know, I'll tell you, there's been a lot of energy around here this morning, just getting ready for you, getting this set up. So we're just going to take a minute, take a breath. David has introduced this new singing bowl, which is tuned to F, I believe I remember correctly, which opens our heart chakra. So I will begin that, and then we'll sing Surely the Presence together. Uh-oh, there we go.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
So we take this time to lean into that presence. I'm reminded that in this space, the work of love has been moving for 60 years. And so there's a great spirit here of, a great history, I should say, of the spirit and the work of love. And all of you here today are participants in that. So we just take a breath. Let ourselves be right here, right now. And calling upon that place within us that knows that deep divine love, for it resides within us. The love of God is our inherent nature. It is of which we are made. And so no matter where you are, how you're feeling today, what you have to do, you can rest in that truth right here, right now. And we know the power and the truth of love to abide within us and abide among us, to heal and harmonize and unify. And so we place ourselves consciously in that awareness, in that energy, and anyone else in our lives, in our world, in need of that healing love. Bringing them consciously to our minds. We can say their names aloud together. And we know that perfect love, perfect life is moving in and through all of these mentioned, just as it's moving through each of us. So we trust that, we know that, we claim that, and we let it be. And so it is. Amen.
I said some words that were cruel. You said some too. Well, we're locked in the conflict, me against you. Well, we can't go back, afraid to go on. So I ask the question that moves me along. What would love do now to ease the situation? Give me inspiration to heal somehow. What would love do now? I lose myself in the world, believing it's real. Fight my way through by thinking I forget how I feel. Well, I can't see ahead, and the past is gone. Time to ask the question that moves me along. What would love do now to ease the situation? Give me inspiration to heal somehow. What would love do now? When I feel alone, afraid, abandoned or apart, I ask myself these simple words, then look into my heart. What would love do now to ease the situation? Give me inspiration to heal somehow. What would love do now to heal the separation? Bring me revelation to see somehow. What would love do now? What would love do now?
Thank you, Robert. In my missed microphone opportunity, you handed me a mic and I didn't even introduce you. This is Robert Anderson. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. So by a show of hands, how many of you have had a meltdown in the past 14 months? Oh, all right. Stand up. No, I'm just kidding. That's pretty good. I'm glad to know I'm not alone. I actually had I think I say this a lot, but I had a legitimate meltdown preparing for you today. And I was reminded of this article, and you're probably reading and knowing about these things as well, that as we progress through this experience of a pandemic and all that it has entailed, we're seeing how the effect of it is showing up, starting to show up in our children, starting to show up in ourselves, energetically. It just feels I felt like so focused, and then all of a sudden I was doing like a college dissertation and I didn't know what it was for, and I just forget it, I can't focus. Maybe I should watch Netflix. I mean, it's just, it really has to do with as they described in this wonderful article, being in kind of a prolonged sense of state of low-level stress, and kind of always being ready for what's next. And always having in the back of our mind, even as we progress, and seemingly well, right, with numbers doing well, with vaccines increasing, with more people having been exposed to the virus, that sort of thing, that we're starting to ease a little. And yet, Clay, I won't be answering questions, but thank you. Are you just stretching? Okay.
I just go swing.
Okay. So, where was I going with that? That has a physiological effect on us, and that's what this article was talking about. Now, this article, mind you, was in the National Geographic, entitled "Why Getting Back to Normal May Actually Feel Terrifying." You know, National Geographic is usually like international, half-clothed. That's a joke, but so that tells us that this is a potent issue, and it is a global issue. And they came up with this, they identified, and thank you, Christina Boatsum, for also sharing this article with us, that the symptoms we're experiencing, depending on our mental health in general, mirror conditions of post-traumatic stress syndrome, similar to psychological consequences of living through war and disaster. And there are those who are on the severe side of that, really, really struggling to function. And then there's seemingly the continuum, and the majority of us, so that we know right now, are somewhere in the middle in a kind of psychological limbo, right? We've done all that we needed to do, and some of us quicker than others, some of us more resistant than others for various reasons, but we did what we thought was best, and then it changed, and now it's changed, and now it's changed. So it's understandable that there is some challenge there. So they talk about the state of psychological limbo as being characterized by languishing. I was like, that's it. How did I not? I've never even really used the word languishing. But it's like, in this, when will it be over, and what will it look like, and why am I so exhausted, and how many more people have to be hurt or get ill, or how much more of this bantering needs to go on around who does what for their own well-being. It's exhausting. And then you add to it that we're all in it together. You can't call your favorite aunt or cousin that's always the rock, right? We're kind of doing it together. Hopefully we're ebbing and flowing in ways that we can support each other. But I mention this to you as a way to acknowledge what is happening, and not to just say all is well right over it. All is well in the divine idea of God. Things are working together for good, and it's difficult right now. And this period has taken its toll on us. And so while there is this seeming movement towards let's open back up, let's get back together, let's do the things, we still feel, wait a minute, I got to integrate all that's happened around me and for me and with me. And you know, when things change suddenly, just like any big transition, like any big life loss, we lose our footing, and everything that we thought we knew, that we could count on or that we believed in, is up for grabs. It's up for reevaluation. The things that we often just sort of went through life on autopilot, we are reevaluating. And that can be disturbing, because, then we have to sort of look at all the other stuff too. Look at the ways I'm not doing what I want to be doing, or I'm not living to the full extent of my truth, or, all of those things get brought to the light. And I'm reminded again, a good friend reminded me that that good old adage that the cracks are the ways that the light gets in. So the parts of us that maybe have been hidden, maybe have been in the dark, individually and collectively have been brought into the light, which is a good thing. And it, just as when you're grieving or when you're going through those big transitions, it takes a toll on you. It takes energy. And it's not always easy. And I think that's what we're experiencing together now. And I also want to mention that so that you acknowledge it for yourself, know that you're not alone in it, know that this idea, I didn't read to you what languishing, the definition of it is to become feeble or weak, to live in a state of depression or decreasing vitality, or to become dispirited. And there's aspects of that I think have permeated this experience. And our opportunity is to languish in the languishing, no, just kidding, to let that sort of defeat us and go in that direction, or to recognize what is it that would not re-spirit me, but renew me, revive me, recharge me. What can I do? What can I be thinking about? What can I be aligning myself with? What can I be doing that aligns me more fully with the vitality of life? And I know that too has been challenging. You can do that, but you got to wear a mask, or you can't do it with the people that you love, right? So just recognizing the challenges that we have experienced, and how I think this time is a time of integrating what we've learned, what we've let go, and what we want to embrace more fully. So I say that for us to be easy with ourselves, to know that the rest of the world doesn't have it all together while we're languishing. We're languishing in various and sundry ways, individually and collectively. And when we're out in the world, we're going to need to take a breath. I mean, I didn't even read the whole story, but I heard some horrible things going on with sports fans, basketball fans, just being really out of line. Like, people are just showing up like, we've been in the wild and we can't control ourselves. Sorry, we're on TV. Oh, we're on TV, okay. I mean, so there's that aspect of literally, if we think about where we were before this happened, we were already having some difficulties. We were already really trying to grapple with the division in our country, and how that was hurting us all, and how we could participate in the healing of that. And then we got sort of trapped with our own thoughts in our own reality, right? And sometimes you need the perspective of each other to be reminded of what matters most, or where you're going way off into the realm of fear or worry, or really disillusionment. We need each other in so many ways. And as I said, our children are suffering, and they don't often have the words or the tools to be able to express that. I remember, probably it was back in January, we were having dinner. I forget what had happened. There had been something that happened. And we're pretty good. Hazel was 10 at that point. We don't really say, let's watch the news, Hazel. No, not so much. So we protect her, but she's aware. And something had happened, we'd been talking about it. It might have been like a shooting or something. And she at dinner just said, I don't feel sick, but I don't feel good. I just don't feel right? So energetically, they've certainly been affected. So I say all this to us to recognize that the people in our lives, the people in our communities we're all in need of each other, and we're all in need of each other. How do I want to say that? Really rising to the fullest that we can. And we're all at different levels with that, depending on our own circumstances, our own prior trauma before all of this, right? And so we do our best for ourselves, and we show up in that way for each other. And it really begins with ourselves. We need to take really conscious and good care of ourselves. And that the article went on to say, I wanted to say, and I'm going to get to some spiritual aspects, don't worry, that it also, when we're in this state of sort of constant fight or flight or freeze, it's harder to access your spiritual wisdom, because your physiological system is on alert. So they talk about, the limbic system and our lizard brain, which is our I got it all in the notes, but amygdala, thank you. That really has us in a reactive state. And until we can calm that down, we can't really access the higher functioning parts of our brain where we can be rational, where we can be compassionate, where we can make decisions out of that. So there's some real practical things that we do to calm that to calm that amygdala that is by nature wanting to protect us. But just know that if you've sat down to meditate or you've noticed your journaling practice has gone off the table, that sort of thing, because you can't even get centered, you can't even calm down, you feel kind of racy, there's a reason for that. And what we can do is, our breath is crucial. Meditation I just said you can't do that though, until you calm that central nervous system, which does have to do with centering in your breath, with getting out in nature, with moving your body to move that energy. And then from that space, you can kind of connect to the higher truth that we all know, but that can be hard to access when we're triggered in certain ways. And to participate in things that we know are uplifting and engaging and enlightening. And sometimes we can just be in the habit of what's happening next, what's happening, and having that sort of news and that constant thread of. And the other thing is, you can't hardly even say anything. If you're on Facebook or anything like that, you'll just get attacked half the time. So unplug from that and plug yourself into spaces and places and things that engage that higher nature, that speak to it, that support you from that place. And the spiritual principle that I wanted to talk about when I was thinking about what do we need to lean into or to call upon from our spiritual understanding to help us through this. And the greatest of these is love. And you say, oh, here we go, love again. Can't you just give us something more practical? Something a little less volatile? But as I landed on this, it was love and our other faculty and ability of judgment and wisdom. And those two are known, they're taught together, they need to be worked with together. And when we talk about Jesus, what is our way shower, our teacher, our elder brother tells us the most often that love is the greatest commandment, to love God, to love yourself, and to love your neighbor. And also, even your enemy. So it's kind of something that is key to our evolution and to our spiritual understanding. And also, similarly, the thing that we're warned about the most in the Bible in general, but specifically by Jesus, is how to use our judgment, to be very cautious about how we are eager to judge. And judge not, lest we be judged. And I see both of these things in play, and they have the capacity to really, when we understand them, again, from an elevated consciousness, to really support us at all times, but particularly as we move through this experience. So I want to remind you that love is far more than a fleeting emotion, that it is an actual spiritual faculty, it's a spiritual ability. It is defined as our ability to feel affection for, to desire a higher purpose, to drive us to express our divine potential. And it comes through, as I said, through emotional aspects, through affection. And also our ability, our ability to feel affection for, which is pretty obvious, right? The ability to attract ourselves toward something or someone. Now, this is important because love doesn't discriminate. Love is just doing its work. It's working through us, giving us the ability to feel affection, to have desire, to attract ourselves to something, to harmonize and unifies unify ourselves with something or someone, it doesn't know if that's good or bad for us. I mean, we love ice cream, right? And how many of you have been seemingly in love or attracted to someone who was harmful for you in the long run? Nobody's raising their hand. Stand up. Just kidding. Yes. So that's the key. We have to be mindful. We use our faculty of judgment and wisdom to be sure that we are attracting and desiring and harmonizing and unifying with that which we say we want, and that which what ultimately fulfills and supports that divine pattern within us coming through. And so the final, sort of the highest level of love as a spiritual attribute is its ability to harmonize and unify. The power of love will unify and harmonize us with whatever we have set our affection, desire, and attraction on. The power of love seeks to unify and harmonize us. I just said that. In the highest sense, love is the harmonizing and constructive power that binds all of creation together. And we are told clearly that love never fails. Love bears all things. Love endures all things. We're not talking about how sometimes we don't feel so much love for certain people. We're talking about the energy, the power of this harmonizing, unifying energy that holds all things together. And so not only, if you think about, it is sort of the nature, it's the power and the ability by which we can even know our oneness. And it is that power and that truth within us when we really focus in the direction of love. And it takes practice these days. We recognize within us that true desire that good befall everyone. And the problem is we think we know what's good for you, right? But and we have to get out of the mind that wants to say we know. And the other thing about this leads me back into judgment is oftentimes we don't trust our own judgment. And so if anyone starts to question or act differently and we've got to go back and reassess what we think is right, we don't want to do that. So if you could just do what I do, that would be a lot better. Then I don't have to go through and reassess, why do I know this to be true? And often when we're willing to do that, we discover some things that are helpful in our ability to allow other people's knowing to exist as well. We don't have to it doesn't have to be ours, but we can let them know that for themselves. And so that power of love, I love that. I don't know if you can get to the slide, Al, because I've thrown you so many loops this morning, but oh gosh, it's so tiny. That's fine. It looked really big on my screen. Ed Rabel, who I often quote, who was a master metaphysician at Unity School many years ago, defined love as this: our ability to feel and know our oneness with others, and the ability to desire that only good shall come to all. We can know and feel that oneness, and deep down we know that we really desire, what we really desire is only good, for only good to come to all. So much more than an emotion. Love is a key faculty to our Christ spirit, or our Christ consciousness. We get love confused as an emotion. I mean, it certainly has that aspect of affection. But oftentimes when our love faculty, when we're falling in love or we're being in love, even with a newborn baby, right? Or experiencing the deep love of someone who's passing, or that joyful falling in love, it activates a lot of emotion. Our emotions become heightened and very sensitive. And so we kind of get it all clouded together. That love is all of that. And love isn't all. Love is more, kind of stimulates that, but it's so much more than that. And so when we talk about love being the answer, it's easy to think, but I'm not doing so good with that, right? Or I got to be in the right mood to do that. But if we think of it in that bigger sense and know that that is the true energy that is working and animating us. If we think, as we say here, that God is love, God is is divine love, and we are expressions of it, we have access to that fuller capacity. And it is up to us to look in that direction, to connect with that higher understanding of love, and to unify our thoughts and our actions with that. So that adage, or not adage, but scripture, that all things work together for those who love God. Well, what does it mean is that because if you love this entity enough, it will do good things? No, I don't think so. I think it means because if we are harmonizing and unifying with the consciousness of God, of good, of divine life and divine love, good naturally follows. But again, it's up to us to make that decision for love. Lastly, I'll leave you with a quote from co-founder Charles Fillmore, who talks about love in this way. Love in divine mind is the idea of universal unity. In expression, it is the power that joins and binds together the universe and everything in it. Love is a harmonizing, constructive power. When it is made active in consciousness, it conserves substance and reconstructs, rebuilds, and restores us and our world. And so I just hold that we recognize that right now, in the midst of this languishing, that there is that within you and me and all of creation that is seeking to reconstruct, rebuild, and restore us and our world. And it's ours to open to that, to trust that, and to let that inform how we show up together individually, how we handle ourselves, how we judge ourselves, all of that. Let the work of divine love have its way through us and direct us in that. So I'll just invite us now. We are going to go into meditation. We have a special thing to do before the service ends, so I want to allow enough time for that. So I just invite you. I know I've said a lot to you, but I just invite you to take a moment to turn within, taking a breath, and just connecting with whatever aspect of love of this conversation we've been having resonates with you. And remembering that the highest aspect of this love allows us to know our oneness with God and with each other. And so we open up also to recognize perhaps what we have been attracting ourselves to, what we have been focusing on or harmonizing with or unifying with. Is there anything we may want to change in that or affirm more fully? And may the presence and the power of divine love and your knowledge that it dwells within you as the truth of your nature. May that comfort you, inspire you, guide you. And may you be open to it guiding your judgments and your decisions. know that this time of connection with the energy of divine love is not specific to this time and space, that you can connect with it wherever you are, whenever you turn to it. For at its core, its purpose in you is to harmonize and unify with you. So that together we may endure all things, bear all things. And so as we close this time of meditation, I invite you to just affirm for yourself, I claim love now. I use love to attract and harmonize my mind and heart with the highest and best. I use love to attract and harmonize my mind and heart with what is highest and best. For this opportunity to know this, to grow in this, and to express this, we are grateful.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love.
Perfect, thank you. Now is the time in our service where we don't pass the offering basket, but we remind us of that opportunity to give really to the work of divine love working in and through this place and this ministry. There are opportunities for you to give on your screen. You can do that online via our website. You can do it via your app. On your mobile phone, as well as certainly always mailing your check in. And we do give great thanks that this ministry has continued to be supported, continues to thrive during what has been a challenging and different year. So thank you very much for that. Together we can claim and affirm our offering blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
So you have the opportunity to, I'll sing a line and you sing it right back at me. It's fun. This one moves.
I am alive, I am alive in this world, in this world. I am alive, I am alive in this world, in this world. This is the place, this is the time. Let it shine, let it shine. I see the joy, I see the joy in this world, in this world. I see the joy, I see the joy in this world, in this world. This is the place, this is the time. Let it shine, let it shine. I'm living love every day, I'm living love every day, I'm living love every day, spreading peace along the way. Right time, right place, living love every day. Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Right time, right place, living love every day. Here we go. I am alive, I am alive in this world, in this world. I am alive in this world, in this world. This is the place, this is the time. Let it shine, let it shine. This is the place, this is the time. Let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine.
Thank you, Robert. I hope you muted my mic, or the people watching on live got a duo, which probably wasn't so good with me singing. That was fun, thank you. I wanted to mention something you can tune into maybe. Next Sunday, we have Greg Lavoie coming back. Greg has been here before. He will be the guest speaker. And also offering a workshop via Zoom from 12 to 3 next Sunday, entitled The Call of Challenging Times. He's a great writer, a great speaker, a great teacher. If you have time, go to our website, check out more details about what he's offering. He wrote the book Callings, which we studied several years ago. So we're excited to have him back. We hope that you will take advantage of that opportunity. And now, speaking of opportunities, you know, we have not had much of a teen ministry this past year for various and sundry reasons. Pandemic and smaller group and that sort of thing. But we do want to acknowledge 2 of our youth who have graduated this year. That's always a special acknowledgement for us, and we invite you to join us in that congratulations and in honoring them. So I think the first one is Darian. Darian's planning to, wait for it, apply to nursing school, I was like, exactly. That's the kind of thing I could see him doing, because he's got such a genuine, caring heart. So congratulations, Darian. And we do have a graduate in the house, which we're very happy for. Go ahead and do a drum roll. Megan McCall. Started coming here when she was about this big with her older brother, and was very active. I got to know you as well a little bit in Uniteens, and that you always had your head in a book, some kind of anime, or she was always drawing things. If you put that picture up, Elle, that is a photo. And we're glad that you could be with us today so that we can say a few words to honor you and congratulate you. And Heidi, it was one of her YOU sponsors.
Is this on?
Yes, it's a hot mic.
All right. Well, I got the honor of sort of the send-off and recognizing Megan at the end of this high school experience, and I have some words I'd like to share. I've only known you for about 3 years, and a lot of you here have watched her grow up. But in my time, my tenure as a YOU sponsor, I learned that you always show up. You show up when you say you're going to show up. You show up for all the activities. You show up when your friends need you. When we have projects going on, you are there. And YOU has been a place of loving acceptance, and it's been that way because of you. That is something that you bring. And when I think of Megan, I think of a few specific qualities. There's many others, but the ones that come to mind are creativity, whether it was painting the mural or writing material for our service rally, or in your unique style and fashion sense, creativity just sort of comes through you. I think you are quietly fierce. She's not always the first one on the microphone. And when I put out a message to some of the other YOUers that have been with her over the years to see if they had anything they wanted to contribute to her memory book, there was sort of a resounding theme in the things that came back to me. And it was about your quiet presence and your boldness, your unique, bold approach. And one memory I have of Megan is when we were planning our service rally a few years ago, we worked with a group called Dry Bones and did a walking tour of Denver, and it was really hard. It was cold, and Megan was in a lot of pain at the time, and she was freezing, and we were walking the path that many people experiencing homelessness walk every day. And multiple times we reached out and asked Megan if she needed anything, if we needed someone to come pick her up. And she was like, nope, I can do this. And she totally did it. But it was a long, hard walk, and I think it was a kind of a metaphor for how Megan faces challenges. And that's going to be, something that serves you that you learned here, hopefully. Resilience that came through all the challenges that you've had in our years together, but also for going through this past year and a half as a senior, as a junior and as a senior, missing out on some of those opportunities that are pretty important milestones in this community, and to not have those and that support right there every week. And yet you still persevered and you made it through the end of this, and here you are today, showing up as you do. So I want to say, I notice how your kindness, you're always inclusive, you're always willing to step in with encouragement, support, and really brilliant insight, sort of a unique perspective. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. I hope you recognize that you have all the tools that you need for success, and that you have a huge community of people here, your fellow YOUers, but everybody here, should you need us, that we will be here to support and encourage you however we can, and we congratulate you.
Hang on a minute. Yeah, you just stay right there. Yeah, I don't have a slide. I don't have a slide, but I want to just say, offer you the modified version of the prayer that the blessing that we often gave to our children when they came in here, which was this: Megan, we love you, we bless you, and we see you doing great things. We'll do that together. We love you, we bless you, and we see you doing great things. So thank you for showing up. I know you would have rather been in bed. We love you. Congratulations. Where are we? Closing remarks, we've done that. Prayer for protection. So we will say our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. As love, I live empathy, understanding, and compassion. I am the power of God. As power, I co-create a world of love, unity, and equality for all. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. As presence, I stand in truth in every circumstance. Wherever we are, God is. Amen. Yes, and now we will close with our Let There Be Love on Earth. Peace. Peace.